Good afternoon, Uttara. Good
Hi.
afternoon, Jui.
Good afternoon.
I welcome two of my esteemed speakers for today's workshop or a masterclass on pharma insurances. And basically, I would like to understand from both of you as to what are your sentiments vis-a-vis this afternoon and your views to take us forward on managing our risk better.
To start with, I think I'd like to commend this as an excellent exercise. Very rarely you see sectoral discussions happening, you see more product discussions, and I would welcome an initiative like this. The biggest takeaway I had was that, like all other industries, pharma is a little bit more accentuated. But like all other sectors, there will be a mix when you do risk management or risk profiling of any industry. There will be a mix of covered risks, of insurable exposures, non-insurable exposures. Among insurable exposures, there will be options that you can choose from. Here what I found was that there was a good debate of what is available, how we should be looking at buying what is available, what all we should be aware of when we are looking at something that is a largely self-insured exposure at times. How do we, redefine our risk management philosophy so that that is also accounted for? And it's not, at times, yes, there was a bit of, dialogue and deliberation and sometimes a bit of frustration on some products that were not easily available, some products that we needed to look externally to the reinsurance market for, but overall I think it was an afternoon very well spent.
So, Jui, can you please elaborate?
I think it was a great dialogue to have such an honest and open communication within the fraternity, which generally does not happen because peers don't want to talk to each other, on accounts of competition, on accounts of similar product lines, so many other factors. But this is a great dialogue and it's a good start. I think we should continue with this in the coming sessions. If we could touch upon exactly what people need and how they should go about conducting themselves in securing the required insurance coverage, I think we would have met our goal. And it's sort of surprising that so many people need that sort of guidance, which should essentially flow out of insurers and intermediaries. But there is still this gap that needs to be furnished. Companies should, according to me, also specifically look at having in-house risk management experts, specific divisions and insurance cells set up to look at those needs. But whatever we can do to bridge the gap in terms of knowledge, I think that's very welcome.
Yeah, so what I understand from the discussion, or rather whatever you are suggesting, is that little more integration is required among the insureds, and also we have to come out in open with our requirements to the other stakeholders like intermediaries or the insurance companies or the other reinsurers who can provide a good support to us by lending their capacity and their expertise or the risk intelligence. So would you suggest any more topics on this?
I think that maybe we should take each topic in a separate conference or in a separate subject for a conference and go into the nitty-gritty of it. Today was a good overview.
Precisely.
However, maybe we can go back to the industry and seek from them where all would they like further intense deliberation, and take it up from there.
Right. What about your views?
I think something that is very much required is understanding of regulatory liabilities, and if at all we can have a risk transfer mechanism for that. That is a subject which needs high deliberation. Also, as Uttara said, each subject in itself is so vast that we could probably spend days on end for each one of them. But I think it's time we get down to nitty-gritties and nuances of what can and cannot happen with the insureds and what they should and should not do. But regulatory liabilities, uninsurable liabilities and contractual liabilities are something we should definitely insist upon gathering more knowledge for.
Do you foresee any other emerging risks which needs to be taken up on priority by the pharma stakeholders?
No, I think the biggest risk is still the regulatory and liability risk arising out of the conduct of companies. More so, I think there is more awareness required, tremendously more awareness required for directors and officers' liability. It has been, this is a product that has been around for such a long time that it's actually surprising that people know so less about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anisha, an important thing that I have discovered during my stint abroad is that cyber is an emerging risk, and healthcare as a sector is after the financial institutions, healthcare is one of the most vulnerable sectors to cyber risks. It takes various forms, from pharma to hospital, healthcare providers to clinical research organizations. The privacy issues, confidentiality, patient issues, all these are assuming center stage. So it is something that the sector needs to look at with a little bit more attention than is being given just now.
I definitely take your point, and I think our next session that we propose would be on cyber and of course on regulatory requirements, because these two are emerging risks as far as we feel that needs utmost attention at this particular time. And we thank Bombay Chamber again for facilitating the whole program for us, and we would look forward to getting this kind of a support in future. Thank you.